Hi, this is Gary Jones of Full Tilt Poker bringing you the final table highlights of event number 1. It's $200 no limit hold'em with a 6-player max, hosted by Mike Madisau. Over 5,000 players started, giving us a prize pool of just over $1 million. First place today is going to pay close to $200,000. Our 6 players, Sister Sue leads the pack with nearly 8 million in chips. Davin 77 brings up the rest with nearly 5 million, and at the bottom we've got Bog 25 with just over 2 million in chips. But there's still plenty of time and plenty to play for. Starting blind 60, 120,000. Play guy who took some early hits down to 251,000 in chips. Under real pressure now, he's only really got this hand and the next one to put his chips in with. He decides it's going to be this one, 251,000 all in. Not really too much of a surprise there. Bog 25 on the button. He's got off to a very good start. He started the final, as you may remember, with around 2 million in chips. He's now up to over 6. Not too much of a call there for Davin 77. And it's just these 3 players to the flop. Davin 77 and Bog 25 may check it to the end just to give them a chance to knock out a player and move up in the prize money. And that's what happens. Guy with pocket deuces, pretty well a genuine hand when you're desperate. And pocket 7s for Bog 25 is going to win that one. And Guy's our 6th place finisher. Blinds now 80,000, 160,000. 3 players around the 6 million mark. Bog 25, Davin 77 and Sister Sue. And it's passed round to Sister Sue on the button, who also passes. Always trust me in the small blind. Goes all in. Doesn't want to put 400, 500,000 out there to leave behind, giving Bog 25 a chance to move over the top. So commits, and it's a good call from Bog 25 with the Ace 10. In very good shape, pretty well dominating the King Deuce. Kings and deuces needed for always trust me. Here's the flop, and it's a 10 there for Bog 25. That leaves just a king for always trust me. Deuces no longer any good. Of course, running deuces would be, but that 4 ends that hope. So now just a king, a possibility for always trust me. Otherwise he's going to be out in 5th. And it's a deuce, catches a pair, not enough. And Bog 25 knocks out a 2nd player, our 5th place finisher, always trust me. 4 players left. The blinds have gone up to 120, 240,000. Davin 77's had a very good run. He's up to 12.8 million. Sister Sue, our lowest chips at the moment, nearly $1 million. 600,000 the bet from Davin 77. A good size, 2.5 times the big blind. All in from Sister Sue. That's definitely not going to get rid of Davin 77, who makes a quick call. Probably a bit surprised that he's in such good shape. King 9 dominating the King 8 of Sister Sue. Quite a few split pots though, of course. Wants to see a couple of big cards or an open pair. Well, not going to like that too much. A 4, 6 or queen would help, especially a 4 or 6. An 8 would be fantastic, but that 3 really doesn't help Sister Sue. So now just an 8 going to save Sister Sue. Otherwise, she is going to be out in 4th. 7, close, but no cigar. And Davin 77 stretching his lead out in front, up to 14 million. And Sister Sue out in 4th. 3 players left, just 2 hands after the departure of Sister Sue. Big bet there from Smooth Hustler on the button, 930,000, about 4 times the big blind. And pretty well showing that he's pot committed. Not going to want to put $1 million in there with only 4 million back and leave it behind. All in from Davin 77, that's why. Pocket queens. Quick call from Smooth Hustler with pocket 4s, probably hoping he's up against Ace King, Ace Queen, something like that. But pretty dominated, needs to catch, and doesn't catch on that flop. Does give him a few straight possibilities though. An Ace 5 or 6 is going to give him a few more outs, preferably a 5. Well, preferably a 4, but that ace does give him 4s and 5s. 6 cards going to the river, otherwise Smooth Hustler is going to be out in 3rd place. That 3 also close, just like in the last hand, but not close enough, and Smooth Hustler out in 3rd. We've got a heads-up battle between Bog 25 and Davin 77. Just a couple of hands after the bust out. We're into the heads-up battle, and Davin 77 first to act on the button. Blind still 120, 240,000. Nice lead though for Davin 77 with nearly 20 million in chips. Good heads-up strategy, keeping the pressure on, doubling the big blind, taking control of the pot. I'd expect to see a bet here, continuation, keep the pressure on, and about the right size as well, around half the size of the pot. Quick call from Bog 25, but that queen's also a scare card. Good opportunity here for Davin 77 to keep the pressure on. And he does. Once again, about half the size of the pot. And not just putting the pressure on for this bet, but even for the bet on the river. So he may only be betting 1.3 million now, but a river bet of 3.5 million would pretty well be all in for Bog 25. It's the very next hand, and here we're going to see a slightly different style. Bog 25 in the small blind. He's just making it up, 240,000. Probably a bit of a sign that he's under a little bit of pressure. He's got less chips than Davin. He can't afford to keep making all of these small raises that Davin can do, because if he starts leaving chips out there, he's probably going to feel like he has to commit with them. Here, he's betting about the size of the pot. Could probably get away with kind of a 300,000 size, but maybe he wants to protect a hand. Maybe he doesn't want to have Davin come over the top of him. But he gets a caller nonetheless. Goes check on the turn from Davin. Also check from Bog 25. River 5, that doesn't look like it's changed much. Check again from Davin. And a check from Bog 25. He's got a genuine hand here, Queen 9, flush draw on the turn. Probably didn't want to bet himself out of seeing the river. And a good pot for him to win. So the very next hand, Davin 77, keeping up his strategy, doubling the big blind. Probably going to see a continuation bet here from Davin 77. No, he decides to make a liar out of me. Maybe now he's going to make that pressure bet, now that Bog 25 hasn't shown any interest in this flop. He does, around half the size of the pot again. Just good pressure play from Davin 77. So this is two hands later, Davin 77 once again on the small blind. Probably going to double it. Well, this time he decides to make it 520,000, slightly more than double. But Bog 25 sings a different tune, he moves all in, 5 million. Davin 77, if he's got any kind of an ace, will probably call. This is what happens when you're putting the pressure on from the small blind. Eventually they make a stand, but he decides to wait for a better spot. So on to the very next hand. This time it's Bog 25 in the small blind. He's putting the pressure on this time. He makes it 780,000. That's over 3 times the big blind. It's quite a large percentage of his chips. And it's up to Davin 77. This time he moves all in, copying Bog 25 from the last hand. Call from Bog 25, King Queen. Not really surprised about the call there. Unlikely to be dominated in a heads-up battle. A7 out in front right now, but still anyone's game. That flop gives Bog 25 10s, queens and kings. About a 6-4 underdog. He's got 10 cards he can catch. 7 on the turn. That gives Davin 77 2 pairs, but doesn't really change much. Still a 10, queen or king, a win for Bog 25. But it's a 3, and that is no good for Bog 25. But Davin 77, he is our winner. 25,600,000, all the chips in play, and he takes home nearly $200,000. So that's the end of event number 1. Davin 77, our winner, takes home nearly $200,000 in prize money. Bog 25, he takes home $119,000. Smooth Hustler in third with $83,000 of prize money, and even Faye Guy takes home over $30,000 in sixth. It's not too late to play our main event. It starts on November the 16th at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can play satellites up until the last minute, and who knows, maybe I could be commentating on you in the final table of that. So take care, and until next time.